Hi there, it's Russ Brad Chulas with Keller Williams Realty, Real Estate with Russ, and this is my real estate FAQ. Thanks so much for watching. Today we're talking about a lease option, and the question is, what exactly is a lease option? Well, a lease option is a rent-to-own agreement. Essentially, you're combining a lease with an option to purchase. And an option to purchase, think of it this way, you're putting a little bit money down now for the option of purchasing the property at some point in the future. So what happens in the meantime? That's where the lease comes in. In between the time when you're putting your money down to guarantee the option and the time when you actually exercise your option, you become a tenant. You're renting, you're leasing. You are in the middle of your rent-to-own period. So a lease option is your rent-to-own scenario where you're combining a lease agreement and an option agreement. Now, who are the kinds of people that would actually use a lease option agreement in order to sell a property? Well, you'll typically find them in a little bit slower markets or down markets or places where things aren't moving by traditional means very easily. So this kind of a seller might also be pretty adamant about their price, but not really want to change anything and still doesn't have to sell it right now. So they're willing to wait. That's how you'd find the kind of person needing to use a lease option in order to sell. Now, what about somebody buying a property? Who are the kinds of people that would use a lease option in order to buy a property? Well, we just got done with a whole bunch of short sales and foreclosures over the last number of years, and people have really tarnished credit. Those are perfect candidates for a lease option. If they've got a little bit of money now, then they can build their credit up over, say, a year or two or three even, and then solidify the option and exercise their option to purchase afterward. So people who have dinged credit and don't have the ability to get a mortgage now, but would in the future, are great candidates for buying on a lease option. Another kind of person is someone who doesn't quite have all of the money now, but they would have all of the money in the future. So people who aren't quite ready right now, but will be in the future, are great candidates for buying on a lease option. Now, whenever you deal with a lease option, the most important thing I can tell you, since I am not an attorney, and of course none of the information that you see on this channel is legal advice, you should always contact your local legal pro for competent legal advice whenever dealing with any kind of contract, especially lease option, because there can be a lot of bells and whistles added into one, and you want to know what you're dealing with. So make sure you get the right kind of advice from a competent legal professional. Thanks so much for watching. Again, this is Russ Brad Chulas from Keller Williams Realty and Real Estate with Russ, and you've been watching the Real Estate FAQ.